Your Money, brought to you by the Welch Group.
Inflation, rising costs, and interest rates all making it tough on American households.
Our Jonathan Skinner recently sat down with financial expert Jay McGowan from the Welch Group on how to save during tough times.
Well, it's certainly tough for a lot of families right now. Of course, inflation can make it difficult. Feels like money is coming in one day, going out the next day. So, Jay, what are some ways that people can reduce their household spending and really get their personal family budgets under control?
Yeah, this is a big issue in America right now. A lot of people are feeling the impacts of inflation.
Yeah.
Maybe wage growth isn't keeping up with that inflation, so people are feeling squeezed. And, this is an exercise I go through with my clients and my personal family to kind of, really evaluate where we can cut back so we can reach those other long-term goals.
Yeah.
I would say that my biggest piece of advice, you have to get the big things right. Okay. So when I mention the big things, really what I'm talking about is housing.
Okay.
So for Americans, I would say, keep housing costs at 20 to 25% of your gross income. That's everything from your mortgage payment, taxes, insurance, maintenance, stuff like that. The banks will typically give you more than that, but that's a good kind of rule of thumb, and it all depends on your situation.
Okay.
With vehicles, I would say keep it at about 10% of your gross income, and again, that's maintenance, gas, car payments, all that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get those things right, those typically are bigger outflow items in a given year anyway, so you don't want to make a mistake on that front. Vacations is another one. We see people spending a lot of money on vacations. Rule of thumb, if money's tight, you may want to just do a staycation or something like that. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But if you are going to go on vacation, try to keep it reasonable, 5% of your overall gross income. And then from on the day-to-day stuff, there's things you can do. I think tracking your spending and expenses is the first step in anything.
Yeah.
Use apps, like use budgeting apps. There's several out there. Rocket Money, You Need a Budget. There's tons of them. Some of them are free, some of them are premium. And with these apps, like identify leakage, identify unused subscriptions, where are you going out to eat too much, things like that. You can really start seeing trends, but you have to track it. And then shop smarter, with food. That's a big line item in people's budget. Use lists, prepare before you go, plan meals ahead of time, and then limit how much you go out to eat. Those things can help you. Online shopping, use price trackers, use the 24-hour rule. I've talked about that on segments before, but if you really want to have an impulse purchase, there's something you really want to buy, maybe put it on the shelf for a day, come back and see if you really want it. I actually just realized my wife has a subscription service where she gets clothes mailed to her every month that she uses and then sends back. And so, instead of buying a dress or a shirt or whatever that you're going to spend a lot of money on and wear maybe once or twice, you may want to look into those things. It boils down to you have to save enough first. Okay, so that's the key. Put together automatic savings plans. Come up with a savings goal that you need to hit, and then automate it. 401k, automatic contributions in your investment account every month. And then once you hit those goals and you're doing that, you can do whatever you want with the rest of the money.
Yeah, and those savings, of course, are really important for if you have an emergency or something
Absolutely,
like that as well. So always good to have that as well. All right,
Absolutely.
Jay, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
you. Remember, you can always watch Your Money Tips on our newscast at 4 p.m. or on our WAFF.com website.